What's up guys, it's Enta Nizaki, and in this week's video, I decided to do a mashup battle from two different series that I enjoy watching. One is Robotech, which I've recently gotten the first 6 episodes on DVD, and the other is my Heart and Joy Gundam Wing. Now, in this video, we're going to put the VF1 Valkyrie against the OZ-12TAURUS. And how this is going to go is we're going to compare the design, pretty much the transformations and its weapons and armaments between the two, and determine who has the better capability with an ace pilot in the seat of the machines. That way we can determine what machine might be the better and or overall winner in these battles. And further on, we'll do mashups, man, and keep it going. Just ask what you guys want me to try to analyze, and we'll get through it. Let's do this, man. So, I'm not too versed on lore from Robotech just yet, but from what I understand is that the wars that were going on Earth during the 1999 caused a big influx of technological advances, especially after the UN found the Macris station, Indoor Space Battle Station. And along with the technologies that they had found, they were able to develop newer combat fighters with the F-15s, fighter jets. So what the Sukhoi company pretty much did is take a F-15, put in a transformable mechanism for 3 different transformations. Its fighter jet transformation can fight within the atmosphere of Earth and within space. Once it transforms into its semi-mech form, excuse me if I'm saying that, or whatever the actual term is for this, it can pretty much fight in space with its weapon in hand. And then of course it has its fully third form in its mech Robotech form, where it is holding its beam rifle and or 55mm cannon. Depending on what depending on how the pilot customizes their fighter. Needless to say, this is what they used to fight the Andretti alien race in Robotech and other factions. Because it can fight within the air of the atmosphere of Earth and fight in space, that means it needs to have special armament and computer systems, which Fastback is what was implemented into this machine to help it fight longer, stronger, and better in space and armor. So basically, the Valkyrie is an extremely powerful machine, and when it comes to its armaments, it has a 55mm cannon within its main holster, and with its cockpit and or face, it has beam cannons. So it's a pretty versatile machine that can fight, whether it's in its fighter jet form or its third, second, doesn't matter. So let's see how the Taurus compares. So now coming to Gundam Wing, we're gonna have to take our little time with this one. For a quick backstory, the Taurus, I am so sorry. I don't know why I kept saying the Virgo. It's the Taurus. But with the Taurus, you basically have a advanced version of the Leo. The outdated Leo was ready to be pretty much put out of commission from the military and of the Alliance, and Oz developed the Taurus to replace the Space Leo. And not only is it extremely capable in space, it has a flight mode for cruising. It has very high capabilities in offense and in defense, and it can transform, which it carries its own beam rifle, and then if the situation needs a beam cannon, it also can fly in Earth's atmosphere, whether it is in its flight mode or it is in its MS mode. Now, seen in the scene where the Saint Kingdom were using the mobile dolls, rather, I'm sorry, uh, these things were able to put Zex on his heels when he was piloting the tall geese, and also the Gundam pilots when they first confronted them, until Duo showed up with the Gundam Death Sight custom. I mean Gundam Death Sight Hell. So basically, you have superpower robots versus extremely superpowered robots, and giving these guys more trouble than any other antagonist up to that point in the series. So let's see how these two machines compare. So I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to do two different matches, but each match is going to have 3 rounds. The first match will start on Earth. We're going to put both the Valkyrie and the Taurus in an open field first in combat and see how they do. Starting off looking at how the Valkyrie would take off in its jet form immediately. Seeing that, the Taurus would either chase after, and I'm sorry, and I forgot to mention the Taurus can be piloted or it can have a mobile doll computer, but we're going to use 2 ace pilots in this battle. So as the Valkyrie takes off, the Taurus is going to stay put on the ground and try to fire ahead of the Valkyrie, which will cause the Valkyrie to transform into its second mode. This will give a tougher battle for the Taurus pilot, because now it's a air to ground battle, which would mean the Taurus would have to get off of the ground to attack the Valkyrie. So now the Taurus is trying to pick his shots better, which gives the Valkyrie more time to maneuver and also fire better precise shots with his beam cannons. Now, as the Taurus is trying to move out of the way, the pilot in the Valkyrie transforms back into jet mode and zooms out of range from the Taurus. This then entices the Taurus pilot to transform into flight mode and chase after the Valkyrie. As this goes on, they're flying around the field until the Taurus pilot stops and takes a precise shot in front of the Valkyrie pilot, causing him to shift gears and transform into his third mode. By the time he transforms into his third mode, the Taurus pilot pretty much catches him off guard and uses his beam rifle to fire him, or pretty much take a pop shot on the Valkyrie pilot's back, which destroys the Valkyrie's machine. So I'm giving the first round to the Taurus. Now for round 2, we're going with urban combat. Off rip, I will say the Valkyrie has the advantage in urban combat simply because its second form can maneuver around all the buildings, all while keeping its distance and holding the Taurus back. The Taurus would have to simply stay in its mobile suit form in order to keep up with the Taurus, unless it wanted to fly above the buildings, which would leave it open for attack. And because of this, the Taurus would either have to stay in wait for the Valkyrie to fly near it, which is far too risky because it does not have any uh, melee weapons aboard its its build. So this would easily give the Valkyrie time to use its beam cannons on on its head to fire into the Taurus and kill the Taurus pilot, which automatically gives the Valkyrie the win in the second round. So the Valkyrie takes urban combat. All right, for round three, guys, we're just gonna do this straight naval to air warfare. Um, this one is gonna be a little tricky because both machines can transform and float and fight, but it's all about who has the better precise shot and or better weapon build. And so I'll do this for the third round. I will give the Taurus a upgraded beam cannon instead of his beam rifle, which the beam cannon can damage a Gundam, and I will give the Valkyrie an upgraded beam cannon set in its head, and also a 125mm machine cannon to help it with its battle. So now they're just pretty much, it's a dogfight, straightforward, shots missing, lock on. Taurus shoots a shot, but the beam misses. Valkyrie does a U-turn or I think it's a loop, a U-loop to get behind the Taurus, and he takes a couple of shots and damages the Taurus, which breaks off one of its legs. But the Taurus speeds off and transforms back into its mobile suit form and to turn around and shoot a straight beam at the Valkyrie while the Valkyrie is still firing beams at the Taurus, which the beams hit the Taurus in the cockpit and the Taurus explodes, but this also leaves the Valkyrie straight, like a straight chicken run into the beam, which it gets disintegrated, which unfortunately this means it's a draw in a straight dogfight in Earth atmosphere. So now for the final round in match 2, we will put the Valkyrie upgraded in space with the Taurus in space. We could either put them in a space station, let them fight it out straight out in space, or we could put them in an asteroid field. So let's see, what would I do? Let me roll for this one. Space station. Okay, cool. So we put the Valkyrie versus the Taurus in a space station. And how would that turn out? At first, the Valkyrie would definitely have the advantage in the urban part of the battle, but I only say that because of its ability to transform into its second form, but that only leaves it more defensive or agility. Pretty much it gives it more ability to dodge than anything. Whereas I think the Taurus would not need to transform to fight the Valkyrie in this point, especially because the beam cannon can destroy an entire space station, which I don't think a Valkyrie has that capability. So in the end, it will either turn into the Valkyrie getting vaporized trying to escape, or it would damage the Taurus, still get damaged itself, and then have to run away because the space station is being destroyed, which would leave the Taurus pilot no choice but to escape the station. Um, but a third thought on that would be that the Valkyrie would kamikaze the Taurus pilot before, first he would eject and then kamikaze the Taurus pilot, which would leave the Valkyrie pilot alive but without a machine in space. So it's pretty much it's a balanced fight. There's no real overpowered. No one machine can actually overpower each other in this fight. I think they're pretty fair, but in most cases, I would give the win to the Taurus simply because of its ability to shrug off so much firepower, and its beam weapons are stupid strong. And even compared to the Valkyrie speed, it's pretty fast. So let me know what you let me know what you guys think in the comments. Share it with your friends. Have a discussion. I would like to see you guys debate this in the comments. Make a video responding to me and tag me in it, man. I'd love to see what you guys think, man. I enjoy doing this stuff, and we're going to keep creating and doing what we can to put videos out, man. And send Nazaki out. Thanks, Nazaki family. Love you guys. What's up, guys? It's Ensign Nazaki, and in this week's video, I decided to do a mashup battle from two different series that I enjoy watching. One is Robotech, which I've recently gotten the first 6 episodes on DVD, and the other is My Heart and Joy Gundam Wing. Now, in this video, we're going to put the VF1 Valkyrie against the OZ-12 Taurus. And how this is going to go is we're going to compare the design, pretty much the transformations and its weapons and armaments between the two, and determine who has the better capability with an ace pilot in the seat of the machines. That way we can determine what machine might be the better and or overall